Hi, you guys. Welcome back. Just like I say, consistency is key, right? Today is Sunday and we about to make it happen. So, remember when I was telling y'all all of my stories of how I was doing the most and I had to go to Georgia, right? Who knows? Who knew I was going to find one of my best friends? I have Josh on the line with me. Say hello, Josh.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Okay. So I know you listened to the prior episode, right?
hmm
And I was just speaking about well, let me ask you since you weren't on the first episode for this season, season 5. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop,
So,
whoop.
right? So, with that question, I was asking if you come across a woman and she has baggage, we're talking about like family baggage. Do you have like, well, no. I can't say family bag. Well, yeah, I can. Family baggage, friend baggage, right? She was a people pleaser at that time. Like she just couldn't say no. But she came to you and she was just like, hey, I'm trying to change this. I'm trying to be a better woman. Would this be someone that you see a future with, like someone that at some point you're trying to marriage with all of that baggage she told you that you had, that she had?
Yeah, with this one, it would be like kind of a deal breaker for me. I say that only because, like, so I know, we all gonna go through things in life and stuff, but some baggage can be bad for you, and some baggage can be good. But the way that you just presented the question is reason why I'm saying no is because if she's a people pleaser, you can just run into a lot of issues where like she can be influenced by her friends majority of the time or family. So for me it would be a no go.
Oh, that's like so sad because what about, even though she is a people pleaser, right? As you, her man, wouldn't it be like if she's letting you know, like, I've been trying all of these years to stop it and I'm trying my hardest, but I feel like I fail at times. You, as the man, would you feel like, you can't bring this into our relationship, but I'll help you through it? If you see her trying, like she's not just sitting there and taking it all in. Like at some point she started to say no, but
Okay.
she had like one slip back. Would it be a
Yeah.
done deal for you?
Nah. I wouldn't say it'll be a done deal, right? Because like, in order for somebody to be helped, they got to be willing, to take the advice and work towards the things that that the individual is pointing out. So again, so like if she's working on it, and I can actually see that she's actually, putting the advice that that I gave her
Yeah.
into work, then I don't see why we couldn't get through it. But again, like if she's always been like that for for the majority of the time of her life,
Yeah.
then it can be kind of hard. That's like I get it, but to a degree I don't get it because if my life is on track, right, and she's having this hard hardship now.
Yeah.
Well, who's to say that that she's actually gonna listen to what I'm trying to help her get out of. So it can become frustrating. I mean, I can use myself, because I went through it, and I just in my my experience, it
Yeah.
didn't turn out right.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So ultimately, we need an answer though. With all that being said, would you still pursue it even though she's trying and it's not perfect? Like, it's not like, okay, I tried once, I'm good to go. She just slips up once. Would you call it a day? Or would you just be like, hey, we got to work on this? Because remember, we spoke about not doing that, and it's kind of like you reverted backwards back into it? Or would you
Yeah.
feel
So
like
I,
someone's
yeah.
parent?
Yeah, yeah. I would say this, right? So I don't mind giving anybody, a fair chance, right? So I guess, I can say that, we would work on it together, right? As long as I can see
Oh, wait a
they,
minute. Yeah.
there's some trying, then,
Yeah.
I'm willing, to fight the fight with her, right? Because it will be my desire, to see her overcome, her challenges and stuff. Now, on the flip side, if it brought argument, it was always arguing, about back and forth, or, it's bringing me down as a person, or it's making me change who I am as a person, um, then,
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. You sound like a robot.
oh man, man.
Oh,
Wait,
that was perfect though. Because when you said, "Oh man," you just sound like a full-blown robot. So that was good. That was good.
mm,
Okay, let's try
yeah.
again.
So what
Hello?
happened now?
Hello,
What happened?
Josh, or hello, Mr. Robot. Hello?
Hey, is it working?
Yes, you sound good to go. Okay, we're going to get off topic. So just give me an answer, a yes or a no.
I'm gonna have to say no because of my past experience.
Oh man, that sucks. Because everyone already knows. I just spoke about it. I was there at one point and I really like had to change. But think about it like this. Sometimes if you're in a situation and just like how I put it, ultimately the other person could feel like someone's parent. Sometimes maybe a little space is needed for that woman. I'm not even just going to say a woman at this point because it could be a man as well.
Right.
So either male or female, sometimes space is needed because sometimes it depends on the person. For me personally, it's a really bad trait. Thankfully, I no longer have it. When people would tell me stuff, I just wouldn't listen. I wouldn't do it because I had to see it for myself. Because if I have this going on in my mind and I feel like this is the way to take it, I have to do it just to experience it. Even if someone's like, that's going to be really bad, my mind plays tricks on me and it's like, hey, but what if it's not? So I have to do it regardless. And then that's how I used to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Now I look at, but that sucks. You give that woman a try. She got baggage and it's okay. It can be removed and stopped. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Okay.
So and I'm proud of you. Right. I'm glad you overcame the things that were holding you down. But sometimes,
Yeah.
like that individual have to go through it for themselves, right? And you stated that, right? So in order for
Yeah.
them, to overcome it, then regardless, if they're a partner or husband or whomever, husband or wife, are trying to help them go through it, help them overcome it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, the individual, you know, just have to go through it for themselves,
Correct.
or they just want to, you know, man, but like for the most part, yeah, yeah. I hate to say it, but again, that's just because of my past experience.
I get it.
I'm just not
Yeah.
willing, to go through that again. Cause for me,
Exactly.
that was a habit.
Exactly. I get it because I spoke about that too. That's what a lot of people don't realize because even though you could really be sitting here with someone for years and they have all the love in the world for you, but in the same sense, it's selfish because you're trying to fix you, but now you're bringing your partner in your madness and expecting them to bypass it, only look at you, and it's not fair to them. You need to get yourself together before you get in a relationship if it's that bad.
Right.
So, exactly. So, I just asked you the prior episode question because tonight I want to talk about, does marriage have an age limit? Does it?
No, it doesn't. Right. And I say that only because you can be 21, of course it's young or whatever, but
Yeah.
you can be 21 and you can be very mature, or you can be 21 and you can be immature.
Yeah.
So it just again, and that's the reason why I say no at the age. Again, it's like if you have a mature, 21-year-old that's thinking about the future, that's
Yeah.
thinking ahead. Okay, so I need to go ahead, find me a good job, right? Go ahead and get my financials, in order, right? And
Mhm.
then after that, the next step will go ahead and find a house, find a reliable car, stuff like that, right? And
Yeah.
so that's why I say age isn't doesn't play a factor into it, unless that individual is just immature, doesn't think about the future or the consequences, behind it. So that's why I say no.
Exactly. Okay. See, okay. I agree with you. I do, but I kind of sort of want to say yes because like me being the age I am, I don't know. Me personally, I just wouldn't date anyone younger than me. But in the same sense, you made a good point because what if this youngin is more mature than I am? You know? That's another thing. I don't mean to cut this off, but I've been watching TV and everything. And when they say mature, why do they say mature? Is that the correct way to say it?
I guess how the way people pronounce it and stuff, but it still means
Oh, okay.
yeah, it still means the same
Okay, so beautiful. I'm going to go back to what I said. Yes,
thing.
even if someone is younger than me and they are more mature than I am, I don't know. I think I'm putting my personal feelings or how I grew up and how my mindset is. Maybe I'm placing that out there because if I see like well, clearly I'm in a relationship though. Just so we know that. So, if I was single, I don't think I would no, I don't think I can do the younger because I would think about, okay, when I was 21, I didn't have it all together. So why would I put my life in a 21-year-old's hands? You know?
Yeah, to your defense of whatever, right? So like, I agree, right? There's a tad bit, right? Because if I'm 21, number one, I haven't experienced life,
Exactly.
and so by the time they get 30, 35, and then they finally go out and experience, drinking or clubbing and stuff like that, and then
Yeah,
by the time you get that 30 age, I mean, you should be, your mind should be settling down, starting a
exactly.
family. And if you don't want a family, hey, but look, there's you and your significant other, and y'all just, working it out, just living life. But again, it just all depends, on that individual. There's some people, and then how the way they're raised, right? So if they was
Exactly.
raised correctly, um, it could be a 50-50. But at the end of the day, a 21-year-old compared to a 30-year-old or 40-year-old,
Mhm.
right? The only difference is that 30-year-old, 40-year-old have already experienced life. And when I
Exactly.
mean by experience, they've already, done the smoking, the clubbing, and etc. compared to, the 21-year-old or the 30-year-old. So,
Exactly. I'm glad you actually said what you said though, because I have a question for you now. Uh is there a certain meaning behind if they were raised right? What is the full definition of someone being raised right?
yeah, so I can use myself, right. So uh what I mean by race, right, is that uh my household, can be different, right, compared to another person's household, right. So my
Yeah.
household can have a structure, right, and it can be very structured, right,
Yeah.
where you have to be in the house by 8 o'clock, right, in the house by 8 o'clock. you taking a shower, at
Mhm.
7, and you preparing, to for bedtime by 7:30. You actually, lights and TV, everything's out, by
Yeah.
8, right? Getting ready for school. So that's what I mean by, how the way it was raised, and that does play, a vital role, into a person, as
It
they're growing
does.
up.
Yeah.
So and I can speak for me. Yeah, I went to the club maybe 1 or 2 times, but found out that that club life, wasn't for me. So I
Mhm.
didn't fit in, right? And that didn't bother me because I'm my own individual, right?
Exactly.
But that's what I mean by it depends on how the way they're raised, right? So if they was raised, into a house that that didn't have any structure compared to somebody that does have structure,
Yeah.
in their life. They're just more prone to grow up, and to have everything, in order. Now, are they perfect? No. Am I perfect? No. Do I
Yeah.
make mistakes? Absolutely, yes. But at the same time, I'm thinking about the future and what and the consequences behind it if I don't make, the right move. Right. So I'm 39. So, my next move, is to, be in a house, find a house, find find this person,
Mhm.
and we build our future, together, and we go forward. Um, I'm just not with the club life.
I get it.
So
I get
so
it.
that's what I mean by that. So it just all depends on how, how you was raised. So if I was
Okay.
raised in the hood, I take that back because, like, even if you were raised in the hood,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you have to be a product of, of your past, right?
Correct.
Because when you become an adult, right? Male 21, females 18. But at the end of the day, male and female, we think we're grown at 18. So, but at the end of the day, when you turn that adult age, and you can actually think for yourself,
Yeah.
then you know what's right from wrong, right? You have the power and the ability, to go out and to make a difference, in your community and inside of your family, right? You have the power to stand out or to be just like, cousin Billy that always hung out, didn't provide for the
Oh,
family
Billy.
and stuff. So yeah, so you have that
Hello?
power,
Oh
to make a
no.
to make a difference and to stand out. So that's what I
Okay.
mean.
Alrighty. I get it. I understand. Okay, so the structure. Okay. But what if this person has the structure, right? But was raised in the hood and their entire family was filled with nothing but toxicity.
Hmm. All right. So that one would be right. So, like, so if I met someone, that grew up in the hood, right, and
Yeah.
you know had that structure, right? So for
But she
me,
has it too.
I would have to, yeah. Oh, okay, all right. So that's good, right? So
Yeah.
like if she has that same thing, right, that same drive that I have, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna become unequal yoke, right? So don't mean to bring
Okay.
the spiritual into it, but at the end of the day, that's where we should be heading, as in becoming one, and we're not being unequally yoked. Right.
Exactly.
So, so long as she can, she can identify, hey, darn, man, look, I most definitely don't want to be a part of that. The craziness, the club life, or whatever the case may be, the disrespectfulness, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I can live with it, right? So long as we don't forget, where we come from, right? So we won't convert back to our childhood, or we convert back to our teenage days where we just flip the script on anybody. Um, so I can I can dig it, but again, if she has like that thuggish ways, or just that bowdy rowdy rowdy, uh, it ain't even gonna be a chance, not even a chance to say hello, right? Because I'm just not, I'm just not willing, to sacrifice, my peace, my freedom, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to have to come home, and then I got to fuss and fight with you, and the whole nine yards, right?
Yeah.
So it is warning signs in the beginning. It's up to us to
Hmm.
either, to identify them and to
Yeah.
see if, hey, guess what? If this something that I can work with, or this something that I'm gonna have to pass by, right? So it's that own individual. You just got to
Okay.
think.
So age would play no factor in it if that's how the individual is and they have all of those attributes. It wouldn't matter if that was a 21-year-old and then you come across someone that's like 35. Since they are the same, it's no difference.
Yeah, no, I would say no difference, right? And that's why I say age is not a factor, because you can be 35 and you can still be an immature adult,
Yeah.
right? So again, so you got to look at the warning signs in the beginning, right? So of course everybody will be, lovey dovey, in the beginning,
Exactly.
but at the same time, ain't but so much a person can fake, in the beginning stages. At some point, that individual would show, their true characteristics. So, again, we just have to be mindful, hey, guess what? This is, the relationship is still fresh. So there's
Yeah,
always going to be lovey dovey flowers and, dates and stuff like that. But
exactly.
again, we just have to pay attention, to a person's characteristic that moves, and and how the way they move and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's why the age really don't matter, because again, you can be 35 and you can still
Uh-huh.
be on a childish level.
Exactly.
So you know,
Exactly. So I agree with it all actually because yeah, age well, just like we were talking about before and like it just depends on the person. I like how you spoke about the warning signs. When you're like deep in love, sometimes you don't even really pay attention to it because
right,
you're just like, this is the love of my life. And, once we get maybe a little further in life, all of this would change. Or maybe since I'm here, we can grow together. That's what a lot of people fail to realize. You cannot change another person.
right.
That's up to them. You can sit here and have the structure, have a whole life plan planned out, laid out. You guys always speak about it. If that person is not trying to change their ways, you can't do anything. Like, absolutely not. And when a person actually realized how many red flags was in the relationship, that's due to they broke up. And then they're going to sit here and think about everything. And then don't, like I always tell ya, don't sit here and feel bad about yourself if you guys are in a relationship, if you're in a marriage or whatever. God forbid things don't work out and someone has to call it quits. It's fine. Don't sit here and feel like life is over or I was just really stupid. I should have saw it in the beginning. No, you were just in love. It happens to all of us. And if you come across somebody that says it hasn't, they're a liar. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh
They're
yeah,
they're
yeah.
just a
Oh
liar.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? Again, I can speak for myself, and
Yeah.
I went through it, and hoping and praying that this individual, she would come to a realization that, hey, guess what? I'm only here to help. I'm not
Yeah.
here to, to tear down, but to help. Um, again, if that individual, don't see what they have in front of them, then at some point in some time, you're gonna get tired of it, right?
Exactly.
So, again, those warning signs, were there. Again,
Mhm.
you just hoping and praying that, hey, guess what? I can help her out. I can help her out, right? So,
Yeah.
but at some point, it begins to, to start. draining you down or weighing you down, or you start getting those feelings, man, I don't even feel like going home tonight, or
Mm,
not on any like adultery or cheating,
yeah.
anything like that mind thing, but you just don't want to go home and have to deal with the fussing, the name calling, or
Mhm.
or the negative energy, right? So
Okay.
to speak for me, right? So I feed off of positive energy, right? So I can sense, we all can sense when something is not right, when something is right,
Exactly.
right? When the mood is right.
Mhm.
But because I feed off, I'm a positive person, am I positive every single day? No, but I try to make sure that my mind frame is there, right? So, again, in a relationship, you just don't want to have to come home and, have to fight and fuss every single day, right? Because
Exactly.
eventually it's just gonna, the love that you did have for that person, it's gonna start fading away, and that's what happened, at least with me.
Mhm.
Um, I just got tired of it, and hey, but you still love that person, but hey, well, it's either uh stay in it, uh, and you go ahead to your grave early. I hate to say it, but
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's what it is. I mean, it's
Yeah.
stress, right? And stress doesn't come with an age. So,
Exactly.
you know, you just gotta pick and choose your battles, right? So I just know from my past, in my last relationship, what I will tolerate and what I'm not gonna tolerate. Right? I'm not gonna
Mhm.
tolerate someone that's unequally from me, right? So yeah, that's all. You just gotta watch the
Agreed.
signs.
Respectfully. Agree with it all. So, the answer, age definitely has a limit, correct?
Uh,
For marriage, or is it just now? Let me ask this. Is this strictly, well, yeah, I am going to say marriage because I think a lot of us are failing to realize when you're sitting here dating someone, the end goal is marriage. But no, no, I can't say
correct.
that because you have some people out here that just want to have their person, and some women and men, they don't want to get married.
Yeah, you
So
know,
yeah.
that, and that's true, right? But for the most part, especially African American people, we grew up in the church, right? No
Yeah.
matter what, right? And those are some of the things that our grandparents, great grandparents, instilled in our parents, and we instilled in our kids and stuff, right? Is the biblical wise, right? So, of
Exactly.
course, in the black community, that's what we're brought up on.
Yeah.
Um, so, at the end goal is to, find a wife, or a husband, right? So you
Yeah.
guys can become one, right? So you guys can become equally yoked.
Mhm.
Um, and but not only that, the the beauty of it is that you're no longer you know, staying inside of a house and if I use my grandma's terminology, shacking, right? Shacking and sexing it up, right? So you're no
Yeah.
longer that, but now, when you get married and stuff, you now become, one, or you still becoming one no matter what.
Mhm.
But the bed is undefiled, so that's the only difference. Compared to if I don't want to be married and I want to be with you for 15, 20 years,
Yeah.
then on top of that, right, you run into legal matters when God forbid if one of them passed, and then you got your great cousin that
Exactly.
you never saw in 20 years. Now your great
Mhm.
cousin wants your whole mansion, right?
Exactly.
So again, it's just legal matters and stuff. So you know,
I
uh,
like that though. Keep speaking that positivity. You didn't say a house, you said a mansion. I like that.
hey,
Yeah,
yes,
keep
oh
saying
yeah,
that. So, I guess that's the answer. So, I guess for dating and for marriage, there absolutely is an age limit.
yeah, oh yeah, sure.
Okay, then. So there you go, you guys. As always, I hope that this helps someone out there, you guys can always hit me up. You guys have all of my socials. You have my YouTube channel. Just subscribe, just reach out to me, ask a question. Do you want to be on here? We can get it done. So, alrighty, you guys. Josh, thank you for being on this episode tonight.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Of course. And consistency is key. So, I will speak to you guys next Sunday. Have a great night.